everybody. Welcome to Let's Talk Physical Media Live, the show we do every single Wednesday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's the show where we talk about all the news in the world of physical media and just chat with each other and talk about the thing we love most, movies and physical media. So I hope you guys are all having a great night. Thank you for joining me here. If you are here early, I appreciate that. Hopefully you guys are all enjoying yourselves as well. Hopefully it was a good day. I guess it was kind of a busy news week this week. We'll dive right into it in a second. But before we get into everything, just want to, give you guys a little housekeeping up on top, going to make sure that the chat is working. That's always most important. So if you guys are here, throw some comments in, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Also, if you saw Monday's live stream with David, aka Shamrock Balls and I, and you like that, make sure you go over to the Let's Talk Movies podcast with John and David. Subscribe there so you guys can, check out everything that we're doing over there. And our live streams that we do once a month will be over there as well. Different from this live stream, but, we pick a topic each month and we chat with you guys. So if you enjoyed that on Monday, make sure you're subscribed over there as well. So where to begin this week? I guess we'll start with what's right here on the cover of the show. We'll get into that. What's up? Oh, Cowbunga Dude's here. What's up? Thank you for popping in, buddy. Always love that thumbnail. I always appreciate that. Kind of, again, looks like me in the winter time. So always appreciate that thumbnail you got. So the big news this week, right off the top, is that we could pre-order already for the UK edition. US edition isn't up yet, but Eraser, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger on 4K Blu-ray from Warner Brothers. I know a lot of people have been anticipating this, including myself, even though I still haven't grabbed End of Days on 4K. I really do enjoy Eraser. The UK edition is already up for pre-order, which is always something that seems like the UK kind of gets that a little earlier. They get those pre-orders in. It's like the same thing with Speed Racer. We don't have an official release date yet, but you can pre-order the UK edition, which is region-free with the Blu-rays and the 4K Blu-rays. And I pre-ordered my edition of that for Speed Racer through Atomic Movie Store, just because they've never let me down. So I always appreciate what they're doing over there. Not a sponsor. I don't have any sponsors here. You guys are my sponsors, but I do appreciate Atomic Movie Store because they also let you do shop pay and pay in four. Very similar to what Groove does, but Groove doesn't give you the option to pay in fours yet. Still waiting to see when they'll eventually do that. But yeah, Eraser, good Arnold Schwarzenegger movie from the 1990s, kind of coming in pretty late, like in, kind of past the peak Arnold, but still a solid action film. Always enjoyed it. Definitely will be grabbing that 4K Blu-ray. Warner Brothers has definitely been giving us some good, like from what I hear about early reviews for All the President's Men and Ben-Hur, is that those are some solid 4K Blu-ray releases. My All the President's Men has shipped, so it should be here sometime in the next few days, I hope. That review will come out sometime later next week. It all depends on when the movies get here. I'm waiting on movies like that, Nightcrawler, Ben-Hur, all that still coming down the pipe for February. And then, of course, Mimics coming out at the very end of the month. You also have Network. I'm really excited for Network on 4K Blu-ray. So got a lot coming down the pipe. And what else do we got in here? So that's Marty Supreme. Now, this is another one from March. I'm on the fence. Do I want to buy this one on 4K Blu-ray? I'm not sure. I'm on the fence about this one. I didn't really love the movie when it was out in theaters. I saw it, and Josh Safdie and Benny Safdie both had movies come out last year, and most people agreed Marty Supreme was definitely the superior movie. But I didn't enjoy it. Rico's here, and Rico says, good to hear All the President's Men 4K looks good since the Blu-ray was one of the worst. I have that Blu-ray still, so I'm definitely going to be doing a comparison to that Blu-ray because, the 4K the Blu-ray for All the President's Men, not a good one. So I'm glad to see that they went in there. And apparently, like I said, I haven't seen it for myself yet. So this is just what I've heard. It's a solid release, but we'll have to wait and see for ourselves, obviously. I'm getting the Eraser Ultimate 4K edition from the UK. So the UK always gets those Ultimate Collector's Editions all the time. I did that with Amadeus and Lethal Weapon. And here in the United States, we don't get that. But the 4Ks are region free. So the option is always there. There's plenty of sites where you can have it imported. It might cost a little bit more, but if you are a fan of those films, it's definitely worth it to get the collector's edition. I always fully support that, especially, it's options, but, sometimes they cut that off to us here in the United States. And, especially now, we'll get into some other things that, between different regions, which I find a little bit weird, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, Timothée Chalamet, front runner for best actor this year for this movie, and I thought he was great. I just didn't particularly enjoy his character. Like it was hard for me to root for him. Mr. Smelly Potato, what's up, buddy? Our channel bankroll member. Glad you could pop in here. Is Marty Supreme only for sale on A24 online store? Right now, it's only available to pre-order through them, but I imagine it will go up on other sites as well. Right now, it's like slotted for release in the last week of March, so I imagine this right now. They announced their pre-order for February 10th, and right now that's the only place you can get it. Um, Again, I'm like on the fence about it. I do enjoy A24's 4K Blu-ray releases. You know, if it's a movie I enjoy, I love the score. This is my favorite score of 2025. Thought it was phenomenally done, beautifully shot. I love that the opening credits are an homage to Look Who's Talking, which I clearly Josh Safdie, a big '80s film fan, because that's clearly an homage. And the two big needle drops in the movie are also great '80s songs. So Forever Young and Everybody wants to rule the world. Like that was great in the movie. It's just I couldn't really root for Timothy Chalamet's character because he was like a piece of shit. Like, I never really root for people who take advantage of other people. Like, yes, like, like, he's got this great ambition to be somebody, but he fucks over so many people along the way. It was really hard for me to root for him. But maybe a second time around, I would enjoy it. March is a little bit of a slow month as far as 4K Blu-ray releases. So maybe I'll pick it up because, like, hey, I'll check and see if there's other stuff I want to get through A24, and I'll just get it together. But it might be a worthy rewatch because it is a phenomenally well made film. I just didn't particularly love the movie because I didn't really love his character. I don't really like arrogant people like that, especially people who are arrogant when they have no business being that arrogant. So maybe that's part of the movie, but just didn't really like it. I didn't really want to see him win in the end. Chalamet is definitely a box office guarantee. He paid $2 billion combined, all of his movie. Yeah, he is one of the rare box office draws. I mean, this is, I believe, was the highest grossing A24 film of all time. So, and he was out there promoting the hell out of it. But also, he's been in a lot of franchise films like Dune and Dune Part 2 and Wonka. And I'll be honest, it took me a long time to get on the Timothy Chalamet train. I didn't particularly love him in really anything. Like, I mean, he popped up in like Lady Bird and he was fine. And I'm drawing up Little Women. I really enjoyed both Greta Gerwig films, but I really enjoyed him in those movies. But like, he never really sold me on how like until like the very end, the third act of Dune Part 2, and I was like, there, I can finally see it. But it took me a long time to finally get on board with the guy. And for that, it's just like, he was really good. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he won Best Actor. Would I still pick Leonardo DiCaprio over him? I don't know. Leo's already got the Academy Award, but I still enjoyed Leonardo DiCaprio's performance more than I enjoyed Timothy Chalamet's. But again, it's because I didn't really like the character. It doesn't mean I'm taking anything away from the performance. Do you think Marty will change his ways in the end scene? I think that's what they're trying to indicate, is that he's a changed man. Like, essentially, like, seeing this is a spoiler alert so for the end of the movie, but I'll try and keep it as vague as possible for people who haven't seen it. But like, I think that's what they're trying to show us, is that essentially he's going to become a different person. But throughout the entire film, like, like you kind of want to see that kind of guy get his comeuppance, like, don't you? Like, because at least for me, because I just had a hard time rooting for a guy like that. It's just not somebody in my regular life I would really be rooting for. I would think, oh, okay, this guy, he's kind of a prick. Like, if you got to like step over other people to get to where you are, but maybe he learned, like, the whole thing is like, maybe he learned, but he's still like, he hurt people to get there. It kind of bothers me. Hello, Rafa here from Cangfriggers, I'm sorry, I'm always in Carrickfergus, Northern Ireland, United Kingdom. I arrived now home from my work. I am a computer systems science worker specialized in cloud computing and Python programming. Ah, awesome. Glad you could pop in, buddy. I appreciate that, as always. Wasn't the characters Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood arrogant? Different kind of arrogance. Very different kind of arrogance. They didn't like really hurt any people. I mean, I guess if you're talking Cliff Booth, I guess there's the theory that he killed his wife. I think they say he did in the book, and we got the first teaser trailer for that, by the way. But I mean, no, because like Leonardo DiCaprio in that movie wasn't like an asshole. Like, he was kind of like a down on his luck actor. He was he believed he was something more than what he was, and he felt like his career was like bottoming out. Like, honestly, he's very vulnerable in that movie. And Cliff Booth is like the loyal guy to him that entire time. Whereas in Timothy Chalamet in this movie, he's hurting people like to get to where he is. He's taking advantage of so many different people, taking money from so many different people with no intention of paying him back. The thing he does with the dog, with Abel Ferrara's dog, was like messed up. So I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, again, people change, and I guess that's the whole morality of the movie is like, oh, he can change, but I expect some apologies to a lot of people for what he did. He should at least. Um, Howdy, I hope you're doing well. I personally can't wait for the Pink Panther 5 movie 4K collection from Kino Lorber. I've been waiting a long time for these comedies, underrated classics. Honestly, they're the kind those 4Ks might be enough to make me go back and revisit those movies. I wouldn't say I was the biggest Pink Panther fan. Always found them funny. I'm actually going to do a list here on the channel because I'm waiting for so many 4K Blu-rays to review, and they haven't really shown up, and I need to film some stuff, or I'm going to be really behind. So, um, Thursday and Friday, I'm going to do a top 10 4K Blu-ray, not top 10, top 10 comedy movies, my favorite comedy movies in their physical media. I'm going to shoot that, and you'll get a little more of a peek into my sense of humor because I was born in the 1990s, and I was very influenced by people like Jim Carrey and Will Ferrell, and I think that kind of guided it. So we'll talk about my sense of humor, and I would say like that British dry sense of humor, while very funny, always it was a wouldn't say is my favorite thing, but hey, you never know. Those kind of 4K Blu-rays might just be the thing to push me over the top. I'm an older man now. I'll probably appreciate it a lot more than I did when I first saw it. Did you get the one battle steelbook? I was able to get it the first time, and I missed the second print. I wasn't able to get it at all. I have just a standard edition 4K Blu-ray, which is a very lazy release. I'm hoping to find out that 4K Blu-ray with the Blu-ray, hopefully it has special features and it's worthwhile for people who actually ended up grabbing that. Very disappointed overall in the 4K Blu-ray release so far for one battle after another that they saddled us with. And let's see, Timothy Chalamet. I saw at least 6 films filmography career. Yeah, he makes nice films. I hope he can make film with Ty Sheridan near soon. It'll be awesome moment ever. Yeah, Ty Sheridan is great. One of the best writers working today. It'd be fun to see him in one of those movies. I don't know what he's got on the horizon. He's always working. I enjoyed him in the movie last year that he did the Bob Dylan movie. That was pretty good. I keep drawing a blank on the name. He was pretty good in that as well. And you know what he does? He's clearly a champion for cinema. He's out there, at least trying to promote it. He's like, and it's funny because like, you see him on all the podcasts, and then they send Fran Drescher out to like work on Good Morning America and everything. Like they know their audiences. So they like, oh, these people remember the nanny. They're gonna know Fran Drescher. They sent him to all the sports shows and everything. Got him out there talking football and everything. Timothy Chalamet. So good marketing, I would say, for Marty Supreme. Definitely know their audiences, which is refreshing. What's up, Insomniac? Thanks for popping in here, buddy. Hope you're having a good evening. And I've been getting in the individual Pink Panthers movies. I don't know, a collection was coming. Yeah, they did that, which is so weird. They separated them out to where you can buy them on, and then now there's gonna be. I think they did that with the airport movies as well. They did the reverse of what usually happens, like with the James Bond 4K Blu-rays, they released a collection first, the Steelbook collection, a standard collection, and then they separated them out for people who wanted to grab them. And those are still the only 6 movies other than Daniel Craig's that we have on 4K Blu-ray. I haven't heard any rumblings of like a Pierce Brosnan set or Roger Moore set, the one George Lazenby movie and the Timothy Dalton movies. Like we need those on 4K Blu-ray as well. What's up, John in chat? What's up, Eli? How you doing? Hope you're having a good night, buddy. Glad you could pop in here. Don't forget to slash that like button and sub to this awesome channel. I would also really appreciate that, guys, if you did, especially if you like what I'm doing over here. So far for 2026, which online retailers you go to for fast and easy releases on 4K Blu-ray? I always go to the Atomic Movie Store and Groove. Those are the 2 sites I usually buy from. In a jam, I'll go to Amazon if like a worst case scenario kind of deal. But yeah, Atomic has never let me down. Again, I always appreciate that they have the pays in for. You can always do that with Shop Pay, which is good. You build up points through Shop Pay. Groove, the same thing, but they don't let you pay in for. Same thing like kind of with Lionsgate Limited. They have Shop Pay, but you got to kind of pay for it all right there. Sometimes it's a tough pill to swallow. Like I have to still pre-order the John Singleton collection for April, but that's like, $68 I think on Atomic, but eventually I will get that. I actually pre-ordered most of the stuff I'll be getting in March. We'll get into it if we have time tonight about like what movies I will be getting in March. And he said, I am seeing behind John Keefe a Blu-ray packaging box set from May 24 Maxine 2024 Blu-ray edition. Sorry, but I don't like those neo-noir horror crime films. It was for me when I saw it a few times ago. Oh, I can understand that. Yeah, that's a 2025 4K Blu-ray box set actually that just came out last year. One of the best 4K Blu-ray releases of last year. Very underrated box set. But if you don't enjoy the films, absolutely no reason for you to pick up the box set. I personally thought that Pearl is one of the best movies released in 2022, only behind Babylon for me from that year. which is another underrated film. But Maxine, I enjoy it, just not as much as I enjoyed X and Pearl. I think X is good. I think X is better in retrospect after you see Pearl and after you see Maxine. I think then you appreciate X a little bit more, kind of going for that 70s horror vibe. Whereas Pearl, a great origin story for the Pearl character, all of them played by Maya Goth phenomenally. And then Maxine, if you've ever seen movies like Body Double, it's clear that like that's what he was paying homage to, and I appreciated it. Is it a perfect film? No, I was a little bit disappointed by it, but I still enjoy it. I've seen it twice now, and I would say it's pretty good. A 4K collection of Will Ferrell with old school Talladega Nights, the other guys, and Blades of Glory. I'd pay 100. Oh my god, for all those movies, absolutely. Like Old School is one of my all-time favorite comedies. Anchorman's pretty damn close. The other guys, I would even say, is also another one of my all-time favorite comedies. I quote the other guys probably that and Dumb and Dumber are probably the movies I quote the most because Michael Keaton's great in the other guys too. Talladega Nights, as a big NASCAR fan, I always appreciated that movie. Burnt myself out a little bit, gave myself a couple years off, come back to it, still absolutely incredible. There's just again all the running jokes throughout those movies. They're just they're just so fucking funny. Great satire of NASCAR, but Old School, that's a special one. Like that's one of the greats. I can throw that movie on anytime and absolutely get a laugh out of it. It takes a man to give away an angel. The Nice Guys 4K from Second Sight is nice. I bought it from Atomic Movie Store. That's one of the best 4K Blu-rays from last year. And it blew out of the water the Warner Brothers version of that because the Warner Brothers version was very, very, very lazy, unfortunately. Cowbunga Dude, Diabolic just shipped my Westworld and Excalibur. Nice. Yeah, Arrow Video, usually they put them out a little earlier as long as you buy it from a third-party site. Never buy directly from Arrow Video. Huge disappointment there when it comes to that. I've learned that lesson twice with The Mask and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Canceled them both and got them from somewhere else because for some reason you would think if they're going to be releasing it to their third-party retailers who are then going to ship it to the people who pre-ordered it, they would, do the right thing and also send it to the people who pre-ordered it directly from them. Not the case at all. And it usually costs more money. So buying from Arrow Video will end up screwing you. It'll end up costing you more and you'll get it after everybody else. So I never recommend ordering directly from Arrow. I don't think they understand that. Like if you order directly from them, you should probably take care of those people, like you're taking care of your third party retail. So always order Arrow Video from third party retailers like Atomic or Diabolic. I imagine like the Movie Room as well, where they'll take care of you a little bit more than actual ordering from Arrow, which is a shame, honestly, in my opinion. Will you be getting Network through the Criterion sale in March? I already have Network pre-ordered, so no, I already that's coming at the end of this month. That should be coming very soon. Actually, I have that in an atomic. I have that in an atomic order with Mimic and a couple other. I actually ordered a movie I've never seen before, starring Jeff Bridges, Michelle Pfeiffer, and somebody else in that movie. I'm drawing a blank. I heard it on. I listened to a podcast like the Rewatchables and the Big Picture through the Ringers podcast network, and they were talking about this movie, The Fabulous Baker Boys. That's the name of the movie. Never seen it before, so I saw that Imprint was putting out a new Blu-ray for it. I was like, that seems like a good first time buy. I kind of needed to get the total up, so we get and threw that in there. So I'm waiting for shipment on that, and the movie you told me about as well. Somewhere in Time. I'm waiting for that as well. Saturday, my wife and I will do Skinny, our part to keep theaters in business. Double feature. Send Help and Pretty in Pink. That's awesome. I'm hopefully going to the movie theaters on Saturday, it being Valentine's Day. We're not going to the movies. We are going to be, I got to work first of all, but after work, I'm going to pick up some food. Going to have Valentine's Day dinner here. It's our 15th anniversary of our first date, actually, so it's a long time. And we're going to watch Legally Blonde, which is one of my wife's favorite movies. So, of course, we had to compromise because on Sunday, which will be like my Valentine's Day celebration, it's the Daytona 500. So I'll be watching the Daytona 500 this upcoming Sunday. So if you're a NASCAR fan, I know you're excited. If you're not, maybe check it out. They're trying to make some improvements. So I'm really excited about that. And on Monday, as long as the Daytona 500 doesn't get rained out and kicked to Monday at 12:15, I'm going to see Send Help. I got my ticket for that, so I can finally sneak out and go to the theater and check that one out. Been waiting a while. And then at the end of this month, we got Scream 7. So, yeah, I'm always, regardless of how much AMC pisses me the hell off, and believe me, they've pissed me off, especially what they did with the Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair, which, by the way, digital release February 17th, guys. I will be holding out for that 4K Blu-ray release when it comes, and that'll be the first time I check it out. But I always have my AMC A-list pass. I pay for it each and every single month. Yeah, so like to get my money's worth out of it, so I can see at least 2 movies a month in theaters. I've just been really backed up lately, but yeah, send help. I'm hopefully seeing that this Monday. As long as the race doesn't get rained out, I will be seeing it. I like me a got the actress, but the film Maxine 2024 was a very problematic and had poorly written plot. Yeah, I understand that. I think if you go back and watch some of Brian De Palma's films, I think it'll make a little bit more sense, especially Body Double. I'm telling you, Body Double was a huge influence on that movie. I'm a little bit of a defender of it. I'm a big fan of 80s cinema, and this was a love letter to 80s cinema, especially 80s horror cinema that I really enjoy. But I completely understand what you're saying. The Warner Brothers Nice Guys was a bum disc. MLD that why it wasn't so basic compared to the second site. It's amazing. It's amazing that, and it just shows you all the time how a boutique label will always go to bat and do a better job compared to our, the major labels like Warner Brothers. That's your movie. You should give that the full treatment. But Warner Brothers, like Paramount, can be very hit and miss. They can give you some of the best 4K Blu-rays, while they can also give you some of the shittiest 4K Blu-rays. And it's really a shame because you would think that they would want to take care of their properties more than like a boutique label, but a boutique label seems to always blow out of the water a regular retailer. I mean, a regular, studio. Yeah, Maxine was all right. Yeah, I get that. Like, I feel like I'm in the minority. Like, I don't love that movie. I'm not going to sit here and like be like, go to bat to like crazy for Maxine, but I think it was a little bit underappreciated. Is it a 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10? No, but I think it's like a 7.5, 8 out of 10. Like most trilogies, it's always hard to stick the landing with the third movie. They made X and Pearl back to back, and I think it just worked better for it. Do anyone here make a discount code in Orbit DVD Company shop? I will try to do with some caution to avoid some dangerous scam as well. I try and contact them Saturday. Yeah. Um, The Fabulous Baker Boys is okay, only worth watching for Michelle Pfeiffer. Yeah, I've never seen it before, but it's gotten a lot of high praise. I heard that it's one of Michelle Pfeiffer's best performances. So it'll be a first time buy for me, like a first time watch, which I don't usually blind buy physical media like that, but it piqued my interest. It's one I never saw. It's got a cast that I would definitely like, and I'm like gonna go into it blind. I don't know exactly even what it's about, but heard a lot of high praise, so I'm kind of excited. Michelle Pfeiffer is a very good actress. I'm always worthy of checking her. You can usually Google coupon codes for Groove and they work. I've never seen a discount code for Orbit. Either have I. Yeah, Groove always has discount codes. And they're usually very cheap anyway. So as it is, like you get definitely save a little bit of money ordering through Groove as it is. I watched Mercy tonight. What'd you think of that? I heard mixed things on that, Mr. Smelly Potato. Was it enjoyable? Chris Pratt, man, it's weird that he's kind of in these movies that kind of gets dumped out in January a lot. Like, thought he was gonna go more of the comedy route, and he's kind of more of the leading action man. And I don't know how I feel about that. Don't necessarily love it. I really enjoyed it. So you know what? There it is. As long as Mr. Smelly Potato says it's good, I'm definitely gonna check that one out because I do like Chris Pratt. The plot had me interested with the being on trial with an AI robot, which is very scary, especially what's going on in our world right now. Don't know if you guys saw those Super Bowl commercials, but most of them were AI and most of them were shitty. And it was very disappointing that that's the route that our society is seemingly going. It's like they've never seen the Terminator before and know how this is going to end up. But yeah, I'm not very happy about that. But that's, we can't turn back time. It's like Cher said, if I can turn back time, if I can find a way. Which boutique label do you think will be the first to go out of business? I think Blue Underground, because we haven't gotten any release this year. I think they have one release coming pretty soon, but yeah, I don't think Blue Underground is on the up and up. I mean, I don't know what their goal is exactly, but I'm hoping that none of these boutique labels actually go out of business because I do think Blue Underground has done some of the best 4K Blu-ray releases, like Maniac Cop 2 and 3. They just don't get the rights to big movies. Like, it's a shame because Maniac Cop 3 is one of the best 4K Blu-rays you'll ever see. But I don't know how many people like the Maniac Cop trilogy. Me personally, like a Maniac Cop, the first one isn't even on 4K Blu-ray. That's through a different label. I'm drawing a blank on the name. It starts with an S. Something that with an S. The logo was green. They also put out porn. But that only got a Blu-ray release, and Maniac Cop is way better than Maniac Cop 2 and 3. But I always liked that trilogy of movies. They're just cheesy late 80s, early 90s slasher films, but they're a lot of fun. Bruce Campbell's in them, and like Maniac Cop 3 has one of the best 4K Blu-rays out there. And it's crazy when movies like Footloose and like Boogie Nights have shitty 4K Blu-ray releases. It doesn't make much sense to me. Ben Rondo, rest in peace, James Van Der Beek. Yes, for anyone, I was really sad, right? 48 years old. And Brad Arnold, too, Three Doors Down, died at 47 years old as well, which one of my favorite bands. That really fucking hurt. These guys, cancer sucks, man. Cancer's getting people really young, like in their 40s. Like these great people don't even get to hit 50, and it's sad. It's really, really sad. James Van Der Beek also, besides just being on Dawson's Creek, was a very, very funny guy. I enjoyed his cameo on How I Met Your Mother. The little scene making fun of himself. He just always was able to make a joke out of himself, and always seemed like a very humble, nice guy. And it really sucks that he passed away at such a young age. And that's why you gotta live your life, guys, because you never fucking know. Tomorrow's not guaranteed to you. Like you could die right now of a heart attack or get hit by a car, get in a car accident. So you have to enjoy your life, because you never know. Like we can't fight death, and it really sucks that he passed away. It really sucks. Shout Factory expanding their company in Oshenta physical media market since last year. Yeah, they've been they have that partnership, and that's why all their stuff is sold on Groove now. Makes it a lot simpler to get. So I appreciate that. Did you get the Frank Capra collection from Sony? Not yet. I do want to grab that though. Just a little bit out of my price range at the moment. For the most part, I just buy movies that I'm going to review on here. I did buy the Cinema Paradiso 4K Blu-ray finally from Arrow Video, so hopefully I'll be getting that soon. I'll do a review of that because that is my favorite foreign language film, not non-English speaking film actually. So I'm really excited to talk about that one. Shout Factory have new label shop releasing DVDs, standard 4K Blu-ray discs, Australia and New Zealand as well. Shout Factory Australia will be cool. Yeah, as long as people can get their hands on these movies, that's all that matters most. Is like we want to make them accessible to everybody. That's always the goal of this. John, don't gaslight your artist. Skynet is your friend. I know. I don't want to get on their bad side because if they take over, I don't want to. But I'm gonna be honest. If there's an apocalypse, I'm one of the first people dead. I wouldn't rely on me. I don't think I'll be able to handle it. I'm going to be one of the first people gone. I'm just hoping that I've assembled enough movies that I can watch them until my inevitable death. It's not going to last very long for me. Give your opinion on these boutiques. Three different cover art. Which is the point? Give your opinion on these boutiques doing 3 different cover arts. What is the point? Yeah, I don't understand that. I mean, again, it's just to get money from people. They assume people will double dip or triple dip, especially if you're a big fan of the movie. It happens all the time. It's the same reason why we get standard and steelbook releases. They just want your money. There's no other reason for that. It's exactly why they will only give you the steelbook option first, and then give you the steelbook, and then give you the standard option like a month later or 2 months later. Like they want you to buy that steelbook edition. They can upcharge the hell out of it. And most people, if they're a fan of the movie or they just collect steelbooks, they're going to grab it. So it's all going to come down to how do you feel about it. Like, we all make those decisions ourselves. Me personally, most important is always the disc. If the disc is good, I'll grab a standard edition. Like, I mean, I don't really love the artwork on the Boogie Nights 4K Blu-ray, but I would have preferred the steelbook. But I got the standard edition. The disc is but you know what? At least I have Boogie Nights in the best possible condition on disc in my collection. That's really for me most important. Like I know everyone's a little bit different. Some people want to grab the best version and best packaging out there, and I don't shame those people. Like everyone. Again, for me though, I'm not very. I don't really have the biggest amount of what's it called? Like the biggest. I don't have money to blow really. Like I'm really on like a tight budget with things. I have a certain amount of money I'll spend on 4K Blu-rays each month, and then and usually it's just movies that I'm going to review here on the channel. So if I don't get the movies when they first come out, then I'll wait for a sale. Like my birth 4K Blu-ray got delayed, so I ended up just canceling the order, and I'll buy that during the 50% off sale. So because if I'm going to review it later, I might as well save a little bit of money. And I always think that's just for me personally, that's always the best way to go is, unless I'm going to review it, I'm going to wait because, these things are pretty damn expensive. That's my opinion on that. Speaking of cop movies, we need Samurai Cop on 4K Blu-ray. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? Man, one day I guarantee it'll come before Synops Films. That was the one who did Maniac Cop 1. Thank you, Ben Rondo. Appreciate that, bud. We need Starsky and Hutch on 4K. I assume you mean the movie, and I do love that movie. Just do it. Do it. That's my thing. Just do it. I'm gonna need to do a 2-headed dragon. What are you guys doing in there? I have a Maniac Cop shirt. See, Ben Rondo just has great film taste, man. I'm glad it's somebody. I know that there's a few people who watch the channel who love Maniac Cop, but man, those movies are so much fun. Like I really think they're very undervalued. Are they cheesy as hell? Absolutely, but in the best way possible. Who doesn't love the Maniac Cop movies? Cinema Paradiso 4K. How much did you pay? I've been shopping on Orbit price, and I seen $38 off of Amazon UK. shipping it, and it should be here. It said February 20th, so a week from Friday is what they're estimating it. But 38 bucks. That's the lowest I've seen it recently. I needed it on 4K Blu-ray because again, like I love that movie, but I had to feel like the right time, right price, and I'm waiting on movies to review here for you guys. I got a ton coming down the pipe. They haven't gotten here to me yet, and I try and stay like a week ahead with videos because you never know what's going to happen, and I work and stuff. And this weekend, like I said, I'm not going to be doing any YouTube work because it's Valentine's Day and the Daytona 500, so I'm taking Saturday and Sunday off. And then it means I might fall behind a little bit. So I want to make sure I stay a little bit ahead. I'm waiting for all these movies to come, though. We need a Sweet 16 2002, Running Scared 2006. I prefer the Running Scared from the 1980s on standard Blu-ray and 4K Blu-ray. Either 2006, 26, 27 will be awesome work from any boutique physical media label as well. Yeah, let's hope. We got our fingers crossed as long as, I'm sure that they'll come eventually. I mean, it's just like some of the movies like that are being held hostage by Disney and Fox are the ones that bother me. Did you watch the what's that? The Kandahar with Gerard Butler. Really good movie. I got the 4K Steelbook from Germany. I didn't see that one. You know what? Now I'm going to check it out. I love Gerard Butler. For the most part, he's like Jason Statham in a sense. Like he kind of stays in his lane and he knows what kind of movies he makes. And I usually really enjoy him. Jason Statham every year puts out a pretty damn good action movie that never gets enough love. It gets like dumped out in January or February, but they're always really good. Matt Cordell was a good cop. Yes. Oh yeah, I'm telling you guys, listen to me and Ben. Check out Maniac Cop if you haven't seen it. Then check out Maniac Cop 2 and 3. I always think that they're very, very good. A couple other ones I want to talk to you guys about that are coming to 4K Blu-ray through Imprint. Dark Blue. I have a funny story. If you saw Monday's live stream, you heard me say it, but I'll tell you guys again. It's a good physical media story, especially when I was younger. We used to have a video store by us. I can't even remember the name of it anymore. Like one of the things I lost to the test of time. Video City. There it is. It always comes back. That movie, I went in there, bought, they had like a used DVD section, and I had pretty much all the movies that they had for sale. And I was like, I want to buy something while we're here. And I bought the movie Dark Blue starring Kurt Russell. Never watched that DVD. Don't have the DVD anymore. And to this very day, I still haven't seen Dark Blue. But even though I own that DVD for years, never put it in the player. So tells you all you need to know about me. So many 4K movies I can't keep up in February. I have 30 movies I want. I know February is stacked. I couldn't get them all. Like I didn't get Excalibur or Westworld, like because I have so much. I already have 4K Blu-rays coming out in the very last week of the month. Now, given maybe I can grab a few, and I got 3 coming out next week, so that's 7 just in those 2 weeks, just waiting for them to come. And then the beginning of March is a little slow. Like the only one I can think of for the first week of March is Hamnet. I might grab it. I don't know if you guys would be interested in me reviewing Hamnet here on the channel, but there's a good chance I can actually end up reviewing that because there's really just not much coming out. The second week of the month, you have Jurassic Parks. Like I already reviewed the trilogy, but I'm gonna get Jurassic World on 4K Blu-ray. So maybe I'll grab some other ones at that point. Do any of your coworkers buy 4Ks? If yes, do you sell or trade with them? And the answer is no, because I brought some movies in for them, like to give to them for free, and none of them grabbed them. Mainly because none of them give a shit about physical media. They like the first, like all I got was, oh, you still collect DVDs? Forget it. It's a lost cause. I'm lucky if I can get these guys to watch movies. They're all about sports. I talk sports all day with these people, which is not a bad thing. I'm a big sports fan, but Islanders and Rangers fans, Jets and Giants, Mets and Yankees fighting with each other all day like cats and dogs. It's actually hysterical. But yeah, we just talk sports. We've had the Winter Olympics on all week. When basketball's on, we watch it. When football's on Sunday, we watch it. So yeah, it's more about sports with these guys, and that's more understandable. That's always like here in New York, not especially on Long Island, not a lot of physical media collectors, not a lot of theater goers either. To buy. Yeah, I knew what you meant, buddy. I appreciate you fixing it though. I figured I rolled through it terribly though. John Cape, you enjoy rock and roll genre music? Absolutely. I was just saying, 3 Doors Down. I have on my left arm. One day I'll show you guys is a Offspring tattoo. The band The Offspring. Not even the world's biggest Offspring fan anymore, but they were my favorite band growing up. Offspring, Green Day. I was a big fan of like punk rock at the time. And 3 Doors Down was another big one. And, I've been listening to a lot of that music now that I used to listen to. Kind of changed my ways. And now I would say I'm more into like Meatloaf's probably my favorite artist of all time. Meatloaf, Prince, Bruce Springsteen. Those are like the artists I listen to. Another one from Imprint was State of Grace coming to 4K Blu-ray. Have the Blu-ray. Don't know if I necessarily need to grab this 4K Blu-ray, but hey, it's coming. And then Imprint also announced a couple other things which are funny that we're going to be getting Hard Boiled and The Killer from them as well. We talked about Hard Boiled and The Killer from Shout Factory through their Hong Kong Cinema Classics releases, and of course Arrow Video doing it with Dolby Atmos tracks. These ones through Imprint do not have Dolby Atmos tracks, which is interesting. They have, although Imprint Asia, but they did announce that they are going to have, I saw 5.1s on there as well as the 2.0 Cantonese and English mono tracks. So very interesting that, for different regions, each 4K Blu-ray have different options. So fascinating when that happens. And, luckily for us, through some of these third-party retailers, we can choose which version we want to grab. For me, I already have them on 4K Blu-ray. I don't really see the necessity to upgrade them just to have a Atmos track. I think the audio is fine. Is it great? No, but it's fine. The visuals are all that really matters in this situation. And for me, the extras, and they really went all out for the special features. Would I have liked that Atmos track? Absolutely. But we didn't get it. Jessie Buckley is a good actress. She is phenomenal. I love her. And that's the real big reason why I'm happy she's probably going to win the Academy Award. And that's the big reason why I'll probably end up checking out Hamnet. I even saw the movie Men in theaters, and she was great in it. The rest of them by Alex Garland. The rest of the movie was, I was a little bit disappointed by it. A little bit uneven. Kind of reminded me of The Fountain. Are you going to get any review Predator Badlands? Haven't seen it yet, but going to blind buy it from what I heard. I've heard mixed things on that. It doesn't sound like the Predator movie I'm going to absolutely love. I might end up grabbing it, but, I've heard that it's kind of Disney-fied, and it feels like a very far distance away from what I still consider the best Predator movie, which is just the original Predator. I wouldn't say I really liked Prey, but I never loved Prey. I really liked it, but if Predator Badlands is in the same vein as that, I'll probably really like Predator Badlands, but I'll check it out eventually. But it doesn't have me too excited, if I'm being honest. It doesn't necessarily sound like the kind of movie the reason why Predator works so much is because of all the great action stars, the over the top, nature of that movie, John McTiernan's direction, and of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Today on Amazon UK shipping for me, the Arrow Video Blu-ray and 4K edition of Excalibur film. Me and my girlfriend ordered on pre-sale. I hope we are going to receive it in the next few days, in at least 6 days. I hope you get it too. That'd be awesome. David Bowie biopic, but do it about all the characters he played. That would be awesome if they did something like that. See, with these biopic films, they have to really start trying to do things like that to help them stand out in a crowd, because, they're all kind of following a similar formula, which they've always been very formulaic, especially if they're based on musical artists. But it would be cool to get something a little bit different like that. How do you guys feel about Michael coming out? I don't know if I'm really excited about that, if I'm being honest. As long as the music's right, I guess if it's like in the vein of like Bohemian Rhapsody, which is like a fun experience in theaters, even though it's not the most accurate portrayal of Queen and Freddie, Freddie Mercury, because a lot of those events that take place just all happen to take place on the same day as Live Aid. It's not how it works out. But you got to make things like for the big screen, and I would say it might be worth it, but we'll have to wait and see on that. I enjoys rock and roll, excellent emo rock music genre songs. I am 25 years old. I am a fan of emo rock music genre songs since my age of 14. I was born in 2000. Oh, awesome. I'm a little bit older than you. I was born in 1992, so early 90s for me. I don't know if I ever went through a phase where I liked emo music. I guess the closest would be Green Day, but I don't know. I was kind of like a little bit like, like that kind of alternative rock, punk rock. I'm also a really big fan of bubblegum pop. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like some cheesy shit. Like even I've heard songs like on the radio, like that song Golden, or what's her name? Sabrina Carpenter, that song Manchild. I'm telling you, I like that kind of stuff, man. It just takes me back to I like 80s and 90s pop music too. It's the kind of music that it sounds good to me. I would say my movie and music tastes are very different from each other. I also thought Men was meh. That's pretty much exactly how I felt. Honestly, I was a little disappointed when I left the theaters after Men. Badlands is good for if you want to watch the Predator taking about his daddy issues and his fifis. Unfortunately, see that's not what I wanted to hear. That's not what I think of the Predator. Although I appreciate them trying something different. We've already gotten the same Predator movie a couple of times. I can appreciate them trying something different, like they did with Prey. Prey felt fresh. Now, will Badlands feel the same way? I saw the Daniel Trachtenberg movie, the animated film that came out last year, and everyone was praising it. One of the best animated films. I watched it and I was like, it's fine. I'm never gonna watch that again. It was fine. Like I know I get why people are praising it, but I also kind of comes down to how I felt a lot about like modern cinema. I feel like I get more excited to see like an older film on 4K Blu-ray than I do to see like a new, or like go to the theater and see like an older film than I do to go like see something like modern. I feel like I get let down more than I am seeing something great. But hey, you know what? We have to keep trying. I always will support the theater business because I love going to the movie theaters. I never want to see them go out of business. So I mean, I don't like sometimes their practices of business, but I also know that that's how business works. Unfortunately, the consumer always has to pick up the ball that the leaders fail with. That's always how it goes. The consumers are always going to be picking up, and you just look at it. Just look at the economy as it is. We're the ones making up the difference, and it sucks. Imprint titles are very expensive, but I like the hard boxes. I got Midnight Cowboy. I'm walking here. Suspiria, a remake, and Never Ending Story steelbook. They do an incredible job with their packaging. You can't deny that. At least they're gonna take care of you. I gotta grab Midnight Cowboy. I keep thinking it's gonna get a Criterion 4K Blu-ray release, but it never comes. So I don't know. One of these days, I might just have to pull the trigger on that. Sabrina Carpenter music videos are very sexy. I mean, she's a beautiful woman. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend she's not. I don't know how old she is, so I'd always feel a little bit. I don't want to say somebody's really beautiful and like say something wrong when they're not that old because I am 33 years old. She's 26. That is fine then. That is not much of a difference in age between us. Are we getting a release of Never Ending Story? I'm sure we are at some point. That's always the thing when the UK announces something first, or Australia is like, when is the US release, or is the US release going to happen? Killers of the Flower Moon, for example, got a pretty immediate Italian release, but it took a while for the Criterion 4K Blu-ray and release to come. Same thing with Once Upon a Time in America. I'm working under the assumption that a United States release will happen. Will it happen? Tough to say. I'm not entirely sure. I hope it does, but I don't know for sure if that's going to happen. And it's like, do I hold out or what? Like, because I want to see this movie on 4K Blu-ray. Lionsgate is releasing two nice films on 4K Blu-ray titles. The Man Who Fell to Earth, 1976, good movie. If I know, Lionsgate Limited will release The Doors 91 on 4K Blu-ray disc pretty soon in 27. Yeah, coming out in a couple weeks. Actually, I think it's coming out on Tuesday. I was going to grab that, but it's the same exact 4K Blu-ray release, except it had really nice premium packaging. Now, at Lionsgate, I'm hoping that next month, possibly, if we get Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair on 4K through them, or Scream 4, one or the other for March, because March, like I said, pretty light month overall, in my opinion. Remember, I told you about Midnight Cowboy 4K, 20% off deal? Yeah, I just keep waiting to think that there's going to be a US release, and that's what I've been like holding out for. It just has not happened yet, but I would think it's going to happen at some point, right? Like it has to happen at some point, but I'm not entirely too sure. While we're here, I'm just going to do the digital code giveaway, and I'm going to add this to the stage right now. And if you guys know how we do it here on the channel, I'll show you the codes after we pick our winners. But every single week we do a digital code giveaway. These codes are donated mostly by channel subscribers or members, like Mr. Smelly Potatoes donated codes, Rogue 1677 donated codes, Scotty Guns has donated codes, my buddy Mellow Fellows donated codes. So all these digital codes are donated by them, and if I get them when I buy, they come with regular non-boutique label releases, so regular studio releases. So let's we'll shuffle this bad boy up. I'll turn my volume down because or else you'll hear all of it'll be very loud and it'll be annoying, but we'll spin this magic wheel in the elevator going up and we'll pick our two winners. Shamrock Balls is here, aka David. Extra shelving looking good, buddy. I appreciate you liking that. I'll tell you guys one thing about that shelving in 1 second once we see who our first winner is. It looks like it's going to be Mr. Brian Beard. Brian Beard, congratulations. That shelving I ordered through Amazon, and that shelving is shit. Luckily, Amazon did the right thing. I reached out to them because it was all damaged and broken, and it looks pretty decent, but super wobbly, just terrible material. Amazon refunded the money though. They said I can keep it, and they refunded the money. Blu-ray Collector 18. So you guys have both won in the past. Reach out to me on my email address. Let's talk ENTMT. Let's talk ENTMT at gmail.com. Or you can reach out to me on the artist formerly known as Twitter, now known as X. Facebook and Instagram. Direct message me. Whoever gets to me first has their choice of the following digital codes. It's first come, first serve. So here's the digital code options. And here's the other. Uh, Jesus Christ. There was a whole nother one. I don't know where it is, but I have a whole other sheet of digital codes as well. So if you guys want to check that out, that way, because yeah, looks like I only downloaded one. I just reach out to me, let me know which of the digital codes you want. I'll send you over the digital code list so that you can look at it as well for those two lucky winners. But yeah, that shelving, it's like it looks pretty decent, right? But it's just in very, very bad quality. Luckily, like I said, dealing with Amazon, they made it easy. At least I got the money back, and until I buy something a little bit nicer, that'll have to do, pig. That'll do. So it's fine. I wanted to make the background look a little bit nicer. I bought new lights and everything for in here because since this is how I'm going to be shooting my regular videos now, I want it to look a little bit nicer in here. And like the movies are always a good background, right? The movie theaters can be saved, but not the U.S. theaters. China and India will build movie theaters as people come out of poverty, but the U.S. No, I mean the U.S. I don't know the theater business. We see the increase in prices. That's very unfortunate. It's very expensive to go to the theaters now. The way that when you finally get to the theater, getting popcorn, soda, candy, all that stuff is really expensive. Now I'm married. My wife doesn't always go to the theaters with me. I don't always, and especially now that I have stomach issues, I very rarely will buy any sort of concessions. So I probably will just go in there with a bottle of water and watch the movie. So like I don't really spend that much money. Like I said, I have the AMC A-list pad, so it's really like $27 a month for me to go to the movies as much times as I want. The thing is that if somebody has a family of four, imagine that, wife, two kids, you're going to the theater. The kids obviously are going to want popcorn and soda. You're going to have to buy all that, buy the candy, and you're looking at with tickets like a $150 to $200 night. And with the way this economy is, which is just fucking horrible, you can't expect people to pony up that kind of money, and they're not going to go to the theater. If you watch a movie at home, even if you rent it at $20, it's still cheaper to watch it at home than it is in the theaters. And the theaters make it a little bit like the small theaters aren't as bad as like AMC or Regal, where like, the customer service is absolutely atrocious. AMC has no customer service. If you want to reach out to them, you have to email them and then hope to God they email you back, which they don't do that either. Like it takes them a while. You have to almost twist their arm to get a response out of them. Absolutely atrocious. So like it's like hard to support a business with like terrible morals like that. And again, it's because they're struggling, so they raise the prices so they you and I make up the price difference for them. They're not going to, fire their CEOs making millions of dollars a year. No, they just expect the working class to pick it up, just like every single corporation expects the working class to pick up the tab on their failures. And it really sucks. But that's just how, that's how these economies run. If I know Lionsgate Limited must be a label of Lionsgate Film something. If anyone knows that, I must be right about that. Curiosity. Yes, Lionsgate Limited here in the United States is where they sell their exclusive steelbooks, Lionsgate. Sometimes those steelbooks will end up on like Amazon, but different kind of thing. But for the most part, like every month they put out a couple of really nice special editions, and you pre-order it there, you order it through there as long as they don't sell out. And it's like basically a sub label of Lionsgate just to get those exclusive steelbooks, which are really nice. Usually have a slip cover that kind of ties into the artwork in general. So slip cover over a steelbook, and their transfers are usually pretty damn good as well. I like the 2025 Thunderbolt superhero Marvel movie, despite it not much good, but I enjoy because I'm a fan of Florence Pugh, British actress as well. Thunderbolts is pretty good. Again, I the Marvel movies last year, they were like hit or miss. Captain America: Brave New World was not good. Fantastic Four was fine. I thought I enjoyed it, and then of course you have Thunderbolts, which was I thought also pretty good. Probably the best of the superhero movies we got last year, I would say. Rico says go to the movies on a Tuesday discount day and bring your own soda. Yeah, I mean you can do that as well. They do have discount days for people looking to save some money. It's just a little bit pricey. Like a small, like I said here on Long Island, it's very different. Like, we have the AMC, and the AMC in Stony Brook over here is the only one that has a Dolby theater and IMAX theater around here. So you kind of, if you want to go see a movie in that kind of theater, you got to go to them. The Regal doesn't have it. We have a Showcase Cinemas. They kind of have a 4DX theater, which I guess is pretty cool if you want to go see a movie like that. Other than that, I have a local theater right by me, which is basically other than swapping out the chairs, it's the exact same theater that's been my entire life. The bathrooms, from what I've asked from people, have never been updated. They look exactly the same as they did in the 1980s, and it kind of gives you that old-fashioned movie theater feel to it. But also, I mean, the visual and audio quality is better at my house than it is there. But you would be supporting a local small theater, which is pretty cool, I guess. Thunderbolts is like a Suicide Squad of Marvel Universe superheroes. It is very Marvel version of Suicide. Do anyone here agree with me as well? Yeah, I guess that's a good way to put it. I love the Suicide Squad directed by James Gunn. My favorite Disney release last year was Zootopia 2. Zootopia 2 was good. I like both Zootopia movies. I really have nothing against them. I also like animation. I've never been one of those people that's like, I'm an adult, I'm gonna stop watching animation. No, I love animated films. My wife's one of those people though, so I can't really get her to like watch an animated film with me. It's like pulling teeth, unless it's like Beauty and the Beast or The Lion King. But I truly like watching animated films. Even like I'm not a big anime guy, but I'll try like an anime film. There's been some great ones, Ghost of the Fireflies and Akira is a great one as well. Ghost in the Shell is one of the best ever. I know Mello that's his favorite film of all time, and it's a fantastic film. So yeah, there's even some anime out there. Like I always enjoy a good animated film, especially if Pixar's putting it out. I always really enjoy Pixar. But Disney can be a little bit hit or miss with their animated stuff. But I'll always give them a try because I just like it. Looks pretty, right? And they're always sometimes heartwarming. Do you buy Severin Teal? I actually haven't, yeah, if I'm being honest. Severin titles. Severin. Yeah, I bought in some. I don't really have much in my collection. And actually, my first ever what's it called? What's their names? Who are putting out Student Bodies? I'm gonna be buying my first ever one from them. What's their name? That company, Student Bodies 4K. Let me see. TerraVision. I've been waiting for that 4K Blu-ray for a while now. I've ordered that back in December, and Stone Gas Man recommended it, and he wanted me to review it on the channel. I grabbed the TerraVision 4K Blu-ray, thinking it was going to come out pretty soon. It keeps getting delayed. It says it was released yesterday. I didn't get mine shipped, but that'll be the first time I ever buy from that label. I've heard great things about that label though, so I'm looking forward to it. The price of UK cinema chains here have soared a lot. It made me angry and very pissed off. I really is going to watch films because of prices. Me and my girlfriend, my friends, complained about this. It's unfortunately we love movies, but movies are not doing the greatest business right now. It's a shame, but new Ghost of Shell is coming. Really? I hope so. I mean, the live action one I didn't really enjoy, but the original anime is so good. Um, Actually, I only have a short window tonight. Maybe I'll watch that tonight 'cause I only have Wednesdays are tough. I don't really have much time to watch a movie. But yeah, maybe. But yeah, it's just the movie theater business isn't really doing too great. The movies in general aren't doing too great. I think we've talked about this many times here about how everything's just becoming more and more niche. You don't have to like when I was growing up, movies were one of the most popular things in the world. Video games were there, but online video games didn't exist yet. That kind of happened in my teen years, and then that to what it is today. I mean, streamers make a killing streaming video games, but you don't have to be a movie fan anymore. You can avoid movies completely. Television has also gotten really big, especially like we're like in the golden era of TV. People want to stay home; they don't want to go to the movies, and movies just don't do great box office wise unless it's IP. That's really it. Look at the movies that make money. Like Sinners was like an outlier last year. Sinners surprisingly made money despite being an original film, but that's not always the case. Like Zootopia 2, like that's IP. And like sequels, Marvel, like that stuff still kind of sells. Christopher Nolan and Quentin Tarantino can sell tickets on their name alone. But it's very rare that a director can. Timothy Chalamet, we talked a little bit earlier about him. He can kind of move tickets, but even that, it's not like we're getting $100 million film out of him. Leonardo DiCaprio didn't move tickets really for one battle after another, given PTA is not that kind of director that has always, has always kind of been, an auteur director that doesn't appeal to everybody. It's just you're not getting people to go to the movies every weekend anymore, and it hurts the business overall. And the prices again, you can't blame anyone. Like the quality of film compared to also the quality of the prices, it just doesn't make it doesn't add up. Unfortunately, it sucks, but it doesn't. Let's see. I love Bay of Blood 4K from Severon. Also, Cemetery Man. Cemetery Man is a good movie though. Uh, Very good movie. Zootopia films are incredible, and Inside Out 2000, Inside Out 2. I did like both Inside Out movies very much. Inside Out is fantastic. My favorite Pixar film is Coco. Still to this very day, absolutely love that movie. I saw that movie alone in theaters the first time I saw it. cried around all these kids crying at that fucking movie, but I loved Coco. I put on the DVD of Carney 1980 Jodie Foster movie on 80-inch TV, and I felt like I was watching a movie at the theater because it wasn't sharp and color didn't pop like a 4K. Well, you know what? That's a good experience too. And even some movies I feel like are destined just to be watched on VHS, and like they're fun like that. Like I really would love to one day get a CRTV DVD and watch the Terminator on VHS again, because I probably haven't seen it on VHS since the 90s. And that was always, I felt like, the proper way to watch the film. Who here enjoys Inception 2020 10 and Cars Pixar films? I love Inception. The Cars movies weren't really for me. And it's funny because I'm a big NASCAR fan, but I just didn't enjoy any of those movies. But Inception, amazing. Love Inception. Should have won Best Picture that year, even though the King's Speech is good. Princess Mononoke had a recent 4K restoration for theatrically. I'm hoping this year I'm gonna get a 4K release. One of Hayao Miyazaki's best animated. Yes, that is one of his best animated films, and I would love to see that on 4K Blu-ray. Actually, Mr. Smelly Potato like recommended me. I watched Howl's Moving Castle for the first time last year, and Spirited Away is a masterpiece. 5-star film, 110%. And so is Princess Mononoke. I would love that on 4K. I just started recollecting physical media. This is from Short and Shark 17. Because of everything you just described, I'm also tired of streaming services. I'm pulling away from all of that and going back to DVD. Streaming services are an absolute nightmare right now. I can't watch movies on them. Like I have Hulu Live TV because again, I'm a big NASCAR fan and I watch sports, so of course I have to have the live TV. But if I want to have it with no ads, which includes just rewatching things and watching movies, I have to pay another $15 a month. No, fuck that. And so I just don't watch movies on there. So then I just have Netflix. I canceled HBO Max a while ago. I just buy movies now in physical media if I want to watch them. And if I can't, like, if I want to rent something, I'll rent it. I do have streaming services like Criterion Collection, big Criterion guide. That way I can test out some movies on there. They don't have ads and it's only $10 a month. But HBO went up to what, 25 a month? I'm like, no, that's insane. Netflix is 27, like all these streaming, and then they have ads on top of all that. Amazon Prime, they have ads. I can't watch a movie with ads. I'm sorry. I don't know how you guys feel about that. It ruins the immersion for me. So like TV shows are one thing, like especially sitcoms. I always watch sitcoms with commercials. They don't really hurt that much. Prestige TV though, I can't do it. No, I just can't do it. Like it drives me nuts. These streaming services, another thing that has us bent over a barrel. Remember when they were supposed like they literally are the line from the from episode 3 from Star Wars. Like you were supposed to defeat the enemy, not join them. Like you sold us this whole thing. $8 a month. No ads. It's gonna be great. Come here, and it was great for a little while. And then they looked at like, oh, return isn't well. Netflix crying fucking poor. Meanwhile, they got $100 million to buy Warner Brothers in cash. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I believe you. Fuck them too. Like seriously, absolutely insane. Mononoke is a favorite. I love Princess Mononoke. It really is a great movie. Who here likes Incredibles 1? Incredibles 1 and 2 are both great films. 1 is a classic. Just got into the Library of Congress for being culturally significant. Absolutely. F1 was another outlier that made money. F1 did make money. I don't know if you guys saw today. They announced that they're doing an F1 sequel. So that's pretty, and that's a crowd pleaser. It checks a lot of boxes. Like it wasn't one of my personal favorite films. I felt like, the plot is, you've seen the plot a million times before, but the things that they were doing with the camera, Brad Pitt is solid and the whole cast is solid in that movie, actually. It just didn't feel like it was hitting new highs, but it did everything it's supposed to do really, really well. Looked fantastic. I mean, they literally shot this movie over years on an F1 track. They went to the races and it shows on the screen. And in my opinion, it works. Maybe I don't love it as much as other people, but it's still a great, great film. Impressive as well. It did everything that it was supposed to do. My friends' teen kids are in their 20s, don't care about movies. Do you have any friends with teen kids to ask? Well, I work with some people who are in their early 20s, and I don't know any people and most of them don't really care for movies. It's all really about video games. Like there's some people who watch this channel who are in their early 20s and like they like movies. I have a movie channel, so that they're going to gravitate towards here. But for the most part, people don't really love like movies. It's just not the popular thing anymore. Especially now with sports gambling, people love betting on sports. That's a huge thing right now. I take it hard if I lose anything, so I don't really gamble. But I understand why that's so popular right now. But video games are the most popular thing in the world, and then just social media. People just love to doom scroll and watch TikToks, and they have short attention spans. A study came out pretty recently about people don't watch movies anymore because they can't sit there without their phone. And I mean, I feel like kids are born in a world where smartphones have always existed. For a lot of us, smartphones are something that came along. Like I didn't get my first smartphone until I was already over the age of 18. And then and then I got rid of it for a while and then went back. So it's like it was kind of a new technology, and like I don't have the problem, and I'm sure a lot of you, like, I could just put my phone down and watch a movie and it's fine. Sometimes like I get a little bit annoyed if I have to like look at my phone, like to like that it's just like I don't like it. Like like if I could take this fucking thing and throw it in the river, I probably would. But like unfortunately, it's like a necessity now in the world. But we grew up in a world where you didn't need a phone. Like you could just sit there. I used to just sit around and watch movies all day, or like that was it, and it was fine. It was glorious. Nobody was calling me. Nobody wanted to talk to me. It was the greatest thing in the world. But the world's changed, and again, you can't go back. And kids today, like they have that in their hand, and they've had it their whole lives, and like it kills your attention span. And that's another thing that hurts movies. Um, and same with mature films too. Very true. Very, very true. I just want to make sure I get all the comments, guys. Yes, very bloody. I love Spirit Away. How's Moving Castle? Kiki's delivery service. Oh yeah, Spirit Away is probably still my favorite. How's Moving Castle? Thanks to you, Mr. Smelly Potato. Johnny Five. Thank you, Mr. Smelly Potato, for like telling me about that movie, like and making me watch it. You never let me down though. Noska. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Enrico goes with today's teen kids and young adults in their 20s, like current Gen Z, they prefer video games and anime films and series that Western films and TV. It has changed a whole lot. Yes, anime is another big one. And you saw how much money like the Iron Lung did. That's because Markiplier, a YouTuber, made that movie. Like, YouTube stars, like they make money now. Like, that's what draws people in because again, the shorter attention span, like that's what people want. We're really in the minority here as far as film fans go, and it kind of sucks. Like movies will never disappear, physical media will never disappear. It's just more niche, and that's fine. That's what it is. Like we got to face the reality. I wish it wasn't the reality, but it is the reality. How's Moving Castle is good, but the story is a little messy. Okay, that's fair. I really like that movie. I honestly, I loved it. I would grab that on a day one 4K release 100%. I had gotten standard Blu-ray steel pick only of 1995, starring Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman. Great movie. Actors. Soon me and my girlfriend would order the 4K steelbook of the Seven film. Actually, I have the 4K Blu-ray over there, that snap case that came out last year, which is and I ordered the 7 4K Blu-ray, and I ordered the Terminator on 4K Blu-ray, which will go into our channel memberships giveaway along with Jurassic Park next month on 4K Blu-ray. So if you're a channel member on the producers tier or higher, we do a physical media giveaway every month on here, and those movies will enter into the 4K Blu-ray giveaway for each month. So if you come back at the beginning of March when we do that giveaway and you're a producer or higher, it'll get added to the pile. And then, for April, you'll see Jurassic Park in there as well. So just a little cheap plug there for the channel members. Good evening, John. What's up, John Doe Juggalo, aka Jeff? Make sure you guys go over to John Doe Juggalo's YouTube channel and give him a subscribe. One of the best people to walk this planet right there. And Insomniac said, I just make my kids sit down and watch a movie. It's like that meme of one person holding open the eyes of the other person. Oh my God. But you know what? That I don't have kids, so I don't do that. But if I did, that's kind of what I would make them do. But that's how you build film fans. I know David, aka Shamrock Balls, with his daughter. Like his daughter seems to be a little bit of a film fan. I think you got to start them young, But not every adult's a movie fan as well. Like I said, like I work with adults. I work with like I think my job has 40 other employees. None of them give a shit about movies. I have some people who are a little bit older, like who work there, who are in their 50s, and they know I'm a movie guy, and they'll come talk to me about certain movies. And like there's a couple of them, and they're going to talk about older films. So, which is understandable. Like, they're gonna want to talk about Jaws, and then like I can always talk about any genre of film. But then if like the younger people, like they want, I don't remember what that anime was that came out earlier this year, but went to the theater to see that. But if I say, hey, did you see One Battle After Another or Sinners? And then they never even heard of it. Like, again, that's the kind of the world we live in where they don't even have to hear the movie anymore. It could just be your algorithm is so personalized to you. Like they'll just it's all catered to you to what you want to see and hear. Like that's it. Like the Facebook, Instagram, it's all going to be catered to what you want. You can completely avoid things. You can avoid the news. You can avoid everything if you so choose to choose to, because you got this in your hand. And these things are smart. They're literally called smartphones. So you got to like seek things out. I saw all the Johnny Fives when I was a kid. Oh, that's awesome. Hey John, can't wait for the Eraser 4K. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. And yes, I wish I could throw away my phone too, but we need it. Like it's literally an essential item now. Like it's crazy. I mean, and I need it for certain things. I don't have the greatest eyes in the world, and the GPS being built in, it's an awesome feature. Like I'm very grateful for that. But if we could live in a world where it didn't exist, and like, I probably would want to go back to that world if I'm being 100% honest with you guys. But I lived in the world where I've seen it both ways. Like I watched the transition, like a lot of you guys, I saw the transition from no cell phones to smartphones. Like, I can vividly remember the first time I saw a cell phone. My dad had it. It was a work phone. Like he didn't buy it. He had a beeper, and then they gave him a work phone. And that was the first time I remember literally getting off the bus because my parents were divorced and getting in the truck with my dad and seeing a cell phone. I'm like, holy shit. I didn't say holy shit because I'm 5 or 6 or whatever the fuck I was. And I was like, what is that? And he explained it. And I was like, damn. And now I live in a world where you can't not have this in your pocket. Like, and you have to have it at all times. But it's so refreshing. That's why I love the theaters. It's another thing. Like, I'm married, I got dogs. I got you got the cell phone. You go in there. I mean, some people abuse it and still will have their cell phone out in theaters, and I hate those people. But you turn the world off and you just watch a movie in a dark room with other people who supposedly enjoy film as well. And that's the good stuff, man. That's the good part of life, isn't it? At least for me. I'm sure for you guys as well. Hey John, hey, just joined the stream. Hope you have a good stream. The Fly Blu-ray collection just got restocked over at Hamilton Books for $45 if you're interested. And if anyone else is here is interested, please go check that one out. I appreciate you joining the stream. We don't got much time left. I think like 8 or 9 more minutes because I usually have a hard out at 8 p.m. My wife's cooking dinner. I can smell it in the air right now, the aroma. Something with shrimp. So I'm excited. I love the 90s watching network TV and switching channels, MTV and sports during the commercials. Yeah, that was great, wasn't it? Like remember the X-Files in the 90s, but the thing was, of course, you could say the negative was if you missed it, you missed it. Like it wasn't coming back around again unless there was like a marathon. Like that's how I watched a lot of X-Files actually in the 90s, was in marathons. And marathons were fun. Like, it's like they were an event, and you don't have like what the X-Files had. If you guys don't know what the X-Files is, a great show from the 1990s. It had a couple of sequel series that came out, but one of my all-time favorite shows. They had like the regular plot of the show, and then they would just have these monster of the week episodes that like really weren't connected to the major plot, but we still have Scully and Mulder kind of having a mystery and then solving it by the end of the episode, and it doesn't really come back again. And then you had the regular running plot, but because they had to fill up 24 episodes a season like every show did, they just had these filler episodes. Where if the X-Files came out now, it would just be like the sequel series where it's like 8 episodes and that's it, and it's just directly related to the plot. Just different times. I've been avoiding a lot of Hollywood and seeing a lot more Asian cinema. And listen, like I completely understand that. There's a lot of great movies that come out from different countries. Brazil is another big one. Asian cinema is always good, but Spanish cinema, don't sleep on that as well. There's always always great cinema coming out from around the world, and that's something I'm always trying to get into as well. A lot of the Hollywood films is the CGI fucking kills me, guys. It really, really does. I hate to sound like I'm a complainer, but I just can't take it. Like, they could just go shoot on location or build some sets. That's why I love 80s movies so much. Like they built these sets, they made these worlds, and now it's like we'll just create it in a computer, and like people aren't going to notice, and maybe people don't notice, but I'm going to always notice, and it'll kill my immersion. Even like in Frankenstein, I loved Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, but there was some shitty CGI in there, which is crazy because he did such a good job with the rest of the production design, great costumes, great sets, but then there you see the CGI and like, why? You spent all that money and come on, like you give us the good scene. And I love Guillermo del Toro, and that's sad. And you're right, social media and phones have destroyed people's desire to go see movies, and it is sad. And it's like we're a dying breed. Like that's like I always hate to say it, but you could just see it. You see the trajectory. It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion. You see the prices going up. You see how they cater. And you hope, like what really is doing good business. I know you go to the theaters, Insomniac, and you guys go see like older movies in theaters. Those movies usually do pretty well in theaters, and that's awesome to see. Like Batman '89 and Returns getting that re-release last year, The Shining. Oh my god, it was so good. Like, I love that. Like, I wish they would do that more often. I prefer watching Asian classic films, Japanese, Korean, Hong Kong, and Taiwan than any Western films and television series. Hey, completely respect that. Um, I grew up on Hollywood films and American films, so I still go back and I try and plenty of foreign films to catch up on. My biggest problem is I don't have the greatest eyes, so when I watch something with subtitles, I got to sit a little bit closer to the TV, and it becomes a little bit more of a chore. But I still get so much out of it. Also, that forces me to make sure I'm completely locked in when it comes to subtitles, so it's not a bad thing overall. 5 years ago, I was annoying my girls with stopping movies and either asking what other movies an actor has been in, or saying, "Oh, what movie were they in?" Now my younger does it, and I give her heck. See, you know what? You made somebody just like you, and that's a good thing. Now you get more people in on it. That you're making film fans. Like you got to do that. I mean, I'm the guy like when my wife she hates it, where I'm like, "Oh, you remember him from this?" Or I'll be like, "I'll tell her a story while we're watching the movie." She doesn't give a shit, but I love it. Especially when I see somebody pop up like, "Oh, yeah, he was in this," and she's like, "I don't care." I watched Perdilla de Rango and Day of the Beast recently. Spanish cinema is great. Oh, Spanish cinema is so good. I can one day maybe I'll do a video on that because like there are some great Spanish filmmakers out there. I mean, Guillermo del Toro does. He also just does English films now. He used to kind of alternate right between Spanish and English, but his Spanish films are honestly his probably his better films. These current generations in modern society are suffering from brain rot by cell phones and social media addictions. I so sick and bloody shit. I miss times when social media and phones were rare. Yeah, I mean the good thing is like they can't trick you as much anymore, but it really does it's hurt our society. I think it's more of a negative than it's a positive in my opinion. There's laws here in New York right now where like kids can't even have their cell phones out in school, which is good in my opinion. But I mean, some parents are gonna be like, "Oh, I can't get in contact with my kid." That was never a problem for us. Like, like you went to fucking school and you came home. They went to work and then they came home. Like, that was it. It was fine. But we've kind of changed our Alamedava too. Hopefully I pronounced that right. I am late to the party, but hello. What's up, Patrick Williams? Yeah, the show's kind of coming to an end actually in about 3 minutes, but I appreciate you still popping in. Check out the replay if you could. I would appreciate that. You were so right, Raph. Man. I'm still not on board with Chalamet. Yeah, I'm not 100. I'm like half in. Like he's a good actor, but I it took me a while. It took me, like I said, the third act of Dune 2 is like when I'm finally like, okay, I get it. But you're not gonna hear me say he's my favorite actor. I watched Dawn of the Dead last week. It had good special effects and on real sets. Exactly. And the original Dawn, that's why I'm a huge fan of the original Dawn of the Dead. And even the Dawn of the Dead from Zack Snyder is good. Just felt like his character was who was just might be in real life, a brat. Thank you. Like that's exactly how I felt about Marty Supreme. Oh my god, like an entitled fuck. And it really just drove me nuts. I'm glad that you felt that way too. And thank you so much, Insomniac, for gifting 10 channel memberships so you guys can see exactly what the channel memberships are all about. He does this every week, Insomniac, because Insomniac is just a great guy. Thank you so much, buddy. I truly do appreciate that. Thanks, you guys. As a Gen Z young adult guy, I rarely use my phone and don't use much social media, only for my work and watch physical media newspapers. And I don't like wasting time. Yeah, I mean, if I didn't have this YouTube channel, I probably would be on social media even less. But kind of got to have it just for what this is. And kind of YouTube is a social media site when you really break it down. We wouldn't be able to communicate like we are right now. So it has its benefits. It's just that it does more bad than good, which kind of does suck. But yeah, so anyway, guys, I'm gonna be wrapping it up here in 1 second. So I'm just gonna thank you guys all, as always, for being here with me on another episode of Let's Talk Physical Media Live. I love doing this show, and the time fucking flies by, man. It really does go so fast. I use social media for movie related stuff, but I find myself doom scrolling, catch myself, and put my phone down. That's the thing. You got to stop, put it down right away when you see yourself doing it. I've even like bounced around the ideas of like deleting the Facebook app. And like, because you can just keep the Messenger app. So if people message me on Messenger, I could still have Messenger, but I won't have Facebook and I won't have that like want to like. And also, the only reason is like sometimes I don't want to lose sight of the news. Like I want to make sure I know what's going on in the world so I can't be tricked by anything. And like I like to, get it from a bunch of different sources instead of just one place because that's how you get fooled as well. So I just want to always keep it around for that. But then I'm like, I don't need this. It's just not good for your mental health overall doom scrolling and it's a nightmare. So I totally get it. But anyway, guys, again, thank you all so much for being here with me tonight. I appreciate this. Every Wednesday at 6:45, we do this. Got some videos coming down the pipe. So make sure you guys, if you guys are new channel members, you'll get to see them. Appreciate that again, Insomniac. Thank you so much. We'll be back here next Wednesday at 6:45 p.m. And also, don't forget, there's a second YouTube channel, Let's Talk Movies Podcast with David and John. David, aka Shamrock Balls, and I. Anything we were doing with the Let's Talk Movies podcast, Access Cinema Appreciation, and our live shows will be all over on that channel. So if you want to subscribe, the link is in the description of this video, and I would appreciate that if you did. But of course, if you don't like it, no problem at all. Yes. So this is one last thing before I get out of here. The Nightmare on Elm Street film collection is up for pre-order 4K Steelbooks. They are re-releasing this, but they won't have the glasses, so it's going to be a little bit different. Thank you, Mr. Keefe. Have a nice day, nice weekend, and yes, you're later real soon. Yep, I'll be back here next Wednesday, guys. So yeah, I appreciate you guys again. Love you all. Thank you so much. Go watch some movies and enjoy your night. Oh, wait, what's this? Super sticker. Thank you so much, Mr. Smelly Potato. Thank you. I really appreciate it. You already give me enough, though. You're such a good Mr. Smelly Potato. He's literally the guy who keeps these lights on in here. So thank you so much, buddy. Have a good night, man. Great shoot tonight. Keep up the good work. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I'm glad you guys were all here. And yeah, enjoy your nights. Happy Valentine's Day for you and your significant others. And if you're not with anyone, enjoy it anyway. Watch a movie. That'll at least get you through it.